So there are times right now where I've genuinely forgotten that I have the Prius now rather than the Z3. And I'll tell you, it is the weirdest thing to walk out to this rather than a little two-door convertible. What's up, everybody? Hope you're all having a great day. I have this. If you're new to the channel, I have a BMW Z3. I don't have it right now. It's sitting 2.5 hours away from me, and I'm driving a Prius. So there's that. Today I'll be discussing why I swapped out my Z3 for a Toyota Prius. I do have some genuine reasons why. So let's get started with those. I feel like in the last video, I didn't do the Prius enough credit with its exhaust. So I'm gonna try and get it done correctly this time. So right now I have the car in the run position. That's why you see all the check engine lights, the traction control light, all that. But I also put it in power mode. And power mode is supposed to access the engine a lot more. And on that note, this is a cold startup on a 2015 Toyota Prius. She sounds decent, but she could always use an exhaust. So I'll be honest, actually, I have no destination in mind. I'm just gonna go for a little drive and explain to you guys why exactly the switch happened. Because there's definitely a lot of confusion around it, I feel like, because for most people it's like, oh, you had a really nice two-door convertible, and on the other end you have a Prius. There's got to be a reason why you switched, and there is, and I'll explain to you right now. So yeah, I will say this is one of the reasons why I did not want to switch the Z3 for the Prius, because it beeps and beeps and keeps on beeping, and there's no way to stop it. Only when you take it out of reverse will it stop beeping. Alright, so beeping has finally stopped, and now it's time for me to actually explain what is going on. Hey, is everything okay? Yeah, no, we're just doing a repair. Okay, I see. Of course. Have a good one. There were some guys from, I believe it was Arkansas or Alaska. That's what the plate said on the car, one of the two. It was one of the A states. They had a BMW 5 Series with the hood and trunk open. So I was like, okay, what's broken? As a BMW owner, I can say, when that happens, something's broken. And I guess something was. They were saying that they had to do a repair onto the car. So that's fair. So to give the TLDR as to why I swapped out the two cars, well, it's mainly due to Z3 is broken and winter time is coming. And if you want the full explanation, look no further. I will give it in literally about 5 seconds. So, as for the Z3 being broken, as I've mentioned in a previous video, why the Z3 is broken. If you haven't watched that video, by the way, link is in the description. The Z3 has that transmission issue, and I'm honestly very worried about that transmission issue, because it definitely is scary whenever it does lurch you forward and backwards, and when that transmission light is on. As much as it's kind of normal to see a check engine light as a car enthusiast, seeing a transmission light is like, oh, is that thing destroyed, or is that thing just one of my sensors acting up or something like that? With the transmission light, I do want to get that fixed, as I've said in the other video, because if it is a genuine transmission problem, I would rather it be fixed than it risking the chance for me to get stranded in the middle of nowhere. As for why I'm getting it done 2.5 hours away, I've actually recently moved to the area where I live right now, and as a result, I don't know many people here. I don't know many shops here. And so I would rather take it back to somewhere where I know and let those guys work on it rather than some new guys who I've never seen before, I know nothing about, that could potentially overcharge me or break the car. I will say, as for it being winter approaching, as they say in Game of Thrones, I don't know, I don't watch the show. The Z3 is rear-wheel drive, obviously, and it's on really bad tires. Like, those Nexons that I showed in one of my videos, I actually forgot which video it was. Those Nexons are not doing well, and especially in the rear wheels, they need to be switched out. And it's getting even worse, actually, because when I was over there, I noticed there's a nail in the rear tire. So that one needs replacing anyway, and it wouldn't make sense for me to just drive it 2.5 hours and risk that giving me a flat tire or something worse when that time comes. So with the rear-wheel drive, it's definitely a little bit concerning to bring that into a winter climate when roads can be frozen over, when roads can potentially have snow on them. That's a really scary thing. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, okay, that's whatever. You can just drive it still. It's like, I can drive it still, but it's nerve-wracking. And it's really scary. Along with that, hurricane season's right around the corner, and I live on the East Coast. And so on the East Coast, we are getting a lot of hurricanes. In fact, literally 2 hours from now, a hurricane is supposed to, or it's either a hurricane or tornado, is supposed to come into my city. Fun and scary. So with that being there, oftentimes when you combine in the really bad tires, you're in for a lot of nervousness. And it doesn't really help it out that it's a convertible. And as a convertible, especially a soft top convertible, it still leaks through. And so that adds just another level of nerve-wracking, because it's like, oh my god, there's water coming in. I'm in a rear-wheel drive car on really bad tires. So on that note, I do have a story time to say that comes with the car being rear-wheel drive in rain. I drove this car once 2.5 hours during a downpour, and I'll tell you, it is the most terrifying thing ever. When you combine the rear-wheel drive, the soft top leaking, which, to be fair, every soft top leaks. Anyways, with the rear-wheel drive, crappy tires, and leaking soft top, you have to, it adds like a level of fear to you, because it's like, oh my god, this is really not stable. And especially when you add in the fact that I have to drive that long 2.5 hour drive, I was so nervous, and there was even a point where I lost traction for like a split second. Like, I lost the traction, not necessarily hydroplane, just like essentially the wheel took control of itself for like a few seconds. And I mean, that happened. Okay, no, it's not supposed to happen. If that happens to you, please don't let that happen again. That's dangerous. And that's why I'm also getting my tires switched out. I also wanted to give a quick segment on here. I just wanted to thank you guys for all the support you've been giving the recent videos. I really enjoy seeing what you guys have to say, especially on the video about what's broken on the Z3. You guys giving your input, I really appreciate that, because I get to see like what the community thinks of my car. And well, yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm not the best with saying things like this, but I guess I'll say it a third time. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And I've really liked making these videos now. Well, I've always liked making these videos. What am I saying? I mean, I've only made like 3 or 4, but I've always liked making videos, and I never really decided to make videos that much until I got the Z3. And I mean, it's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed filming it. It gives me something to do. It's something to do, especially when I'm just relaxing after a really stressful day. I just have something to work on, a little side project, if you will, just to have some fun and just enjoy, rather than having to worry about it, stress about it. So I'm pulled over here real quick, and I turn off the car to reveal this. 45.3 miles per gallon, which is something that is a lot better than the Z3. Basically, oh, it went away, but basically it's about double the fuel economy of the Z3. So that's honestly really crazy to think about. The fact that there can be such a giant fuel difference between two cars is just immeasurable. It's impressive, and it's so weird to think about. I'll say this. I don't know where I pulled over to, but I'm so glad that I did. These houses are beautiful. I'm not the biggest house enthusiast, but I can tell you that... I'm sorry, I just froze because... Is that a hearse? What in the... That's a hearse. Hold on, wait. That's a hearse. I can't believe it. I don't know why I'm so amazed by it. I think I've seen, though, more Lambos, Ferraris, and McLarens than I have hearses, which just blows my mind. I gotta say, I don't know how I found these roads that I'm on. It's a 1-lane back road right nearby the city. I can't show them, obviously, but I'll say these are fun. And when I get the Z3 back, the first thing I'm doing when I get home is I'm gonna rip it through these back roads. That's gonna be a lot of fun when the top is down, especially. So I've arrived at basically the top floor of my parking garage. I ran into the guy from the beginning of the video who had the broken 5 Series. He's still working on it, and I got the state horribly wrong. He's actually from Nebraska, so there's that. But I learned he has an N40 or N54, and he's currently working on it right now. If he is watching today's video, I wish him good luck. And well, yeah, I wish him good luck. Yeah, I know parking's not the best, and yes, I'm back on the roof of my parking deck. But with the clouds coming in like they are, I feel like this would be a good spot to get the thumbnail shot for today's video, so might as well just try and get some angles of the Prius to use for, well, as previously mentioned, thumbnail shot. I will also say it is incredibly windy, and my hair is just being thrown around wherever it is. If you're ever planning to grow your hair out, keep it short, or be prepared for this thing. And just like that, today's video is over. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope it gave some insight as to why I swapped the 2 cars out, and I hope it explained that at the end of the day, I want to try and not get stranded or hurt from the car, and so I would rather switch it out temporarily and it be safe along with myself than risk it in that situation. There was a Dodge Charger that just drove by, and I'll be honest, it sounded amazing. There it is, right in the background. Anyways, if you have any questions or comments or anything that you just want to say, if you just want to say Prius gang, then go for it. And if you want to give the video a like, give it a like. If you want to give it a dislike, give it a dislike. And if you have anything to say, feel free to leave a comment down below. And just like that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you all have a great day. Peace.